You think you are raising them. You think you are the one who teaches, guides, shapes, corrects. You are the parent. They are the child. You know more. You've lived longer. Your job is to pour your wisdom into them and mold them into who they're meant to become. And all of that is true, but it is only half the truth. Because Paramahansa Yogananda taught something that quietly turns the whole idea of parenthood on its head. He taught that your child did not come only to be taught by you. Your child also came to teach you. That small, dependent being who seems to need everything from you is, on a deeper level, one of the most powerful spiritual teachers your soul will ever meet. This is not sentimentality. It is not a sweet saying for a greeting card. Yogananda meant it in the deepest possible way, that the relationship between you and your child is not an accident, not merely biology, but a sacred meeting of two souls, each here to help the other awaken. Today, we're going to explore this teaching fully. We'll look at why your child came to you specifically, what they came to teach you, and how the challenges of raising them are quietly transforming your own soul. By the end, you may never look at your child or at yourself as a parent the same way again. Let's begin with a truth Yogananda taught that most parents never hear. Your child is not yours by chance. Yogananda taught that there are no accidents in the people who come into our lives, and least of all in the ones who come through us as our children. He said something profound and often misunderstood. Your child is your karma. This soul was not randomly assigned to you. It is a being you have likely known before, across other lifetimes, drawn to you now by a deeper law, for reasons your soul understands, even when your mind does not. You did not simply produce a child. You were entrusted with a soul, a whole, complete being with its own history, its own destiny, its own long journey. Who chose to enter this life through you and to walk beside you for a time? And this changes everything. Because if your child is not a blank slate you're here to fill, but a soul you're here to walk beside, then parenthood is not a one-way street. It is, as Yogananda described it, a sacred exchange between two beings, both here to grow, both here to awaken. So the question becomes, if your child came to teach you, what exactly did they come to teach? The first lesson your child teaches you is unconditional love. Before you had a child, you may have thought you understood love, but most human love is quietly conditional. We love those who are kind to us, who please us, who meet our needs. Then a child arrives, helpless, demanding, giving nothing back at first but need. And something in you loves them anyway, loves them not for what they do, but simply for what they are. Yogananda taught that this is a doorway. He said that family life is the laboratory in which ordinary human love is meant to be purified and expanded into divine love. Your child, by needing so much and earning so little, teaches your heart to love without condition, without calculation, without expecting return. And that is the very love the saints spend their lives trying to reach. Your child hands it to you the day they are born. The second lesson your child teaches you is patience. Nothing on earth will test your patience like a child. The endless questions, the tears over things that make no sense, the slowness, the mess, the same lesson repeated 100 times without seeming to land. If you have short patience, a child will find its every limit. But Yogananda taught that patience is not weakness or mere endurance. It is a form of spiritual strength, the conscious exercise of will and love. Your child is, without knowing it, your daily teacher of every moment you choose gentleness over frustration, understanding over anger. You are being trained in one of the deepest spiritual virtues there is. The child is the teacher. The exhaustion is the classroom. And patience is the lesson slowly being carved into your soul. The third lesson your child teaches you is presence. Children live entirely in the now. They are not rehearsing the future or replaying the past. They are here, fully absorbed in this game, this moment, this wonder. And when you are truly with your child, they pull you into the present too, out of your endless mental noise and into the only moment that is real. Yogananda taught that the present moment is where life and God are actually found. Your child, simply by being how they are, keeps calling you back to it. They don't care about your inbox or your worries. They want you here, now, fully. In teaching you to be present with them, they are teaching you the very thing every spiritual path is trying to teach. how to actually be here for your own life. The fourth lesson is the hardest and the most transforming. Your child shows you yourself. Yogananda taught that the qualities your child brings into your life often mirror something within you. Their innocence, their stubbornness, their fears, their gifts. They reflect your own patterns, your own history, sometimes your own unhealed wounds. The things that trigger you most in your child are frequently pointing at something unresolved in you. The impatience that flares up, the old anger you thought you'd buried, the fear you feel watching them struggle, the control you can't quite release. Your child reaches these places in you that no one else can reach and brings them to the surface, not to torment you, but to show you what still needs healing. In this way, Yogananda taught, your child becomes your mirror. They help you see the parts of yourself that still need patience, love, and transformation. They are your guide as much as you are theirs. This is why raising a child can feel like it's undoing you, because in a way, it is. It is dismantling the parts of you that were never your true self and asking you to grow into something larger, softer, more awake. Now, all of this leads to the teaching that Yogananda placed at the very center of parenthood, and it is one of the most freeing things a parent can ever hear. You do not own your child. Yogananda said it plainly. Your child is not your possession, not an extension of you, not a project to perfect, not a second chance to live the life you wanted, not a trophy to make you look good. Your child is a soul entrusted to your care for a time so that you can help their spirit unfold, not force it into your own image. This single truth dissolves so much suffering. So much of the pain in parenting comes from ownership, from trying to control who the child becomes, from measuring your worth by their success, from being unable to let them be different from you. Yogananda taught the opposite. He warned parents never to force their own views onto their children, never to pressure them into being what the parent wants, never to make love feel like something the child must earn. Instead, he taught that the parent's role is that of a loving guide, not a tyrant, to protect, to nurture, to guide with kindness, and then to release, to help the soul in your care become fully itself, and then to let it go on its own journey. When you stop trying to own your child, you can finally love them freely, and strangely, that is also when they can love you most freely in return. So what do you do with all of this? How do you actually live it? Yogananda's guidance was deeply practical. First, see your child as a soul. When your child frustrates you, when they defy you, when they struggle, pause and remember, this is not just my child. This is an ancient soul with its own journey who came to walk beside me and to teach me as much as I teach them. That single shift changes everything about how you respond. Second, when your child triggers something painful in you, don't just react. Look, ask, what in me is this touching? What wound, what fear, what old pattern is my child holding up to the light? Let them be your mirror. Let the difficulty become your teacher. Third, love without condition and without control. Let your child feel that your love is not something they must earn by pleasing you or succeeding for you. And hold your dreams for them lightly, honoring who they actually are rather than who you wish they'd be. And finally, Yogananda taught the power of a family united in the divine. He encouraged parents to nurture not just the child's body and mind, but their spirit, to create a home where love, calm, and a sense of the sacred are present. Not by forcing spirituality on them, but by living it yourself so that they absorb it naturally, the way they absorb everything else from you. Here is a simple reflection you can do. Take a quiet moment. Close your eyes and bring your child to mind, not as your responsibility, not as your worry, but simply as a soul. Picture them clearly. Silently say, "You are not mine to own. You are a soul entrusted to my care. Thank you for what you came to teach me, the patience, the presence, the love without condition. Help me to see, in the moments you challenge me, the parts of myself that still need to grow. I will guide you with kindness, and I will let you become fully who you are. Sit with whatever rises, love, tenderness, maybe tears. Let it move through you. And when you open your eyes, see if you can carry that softened, awakened way of seeing into your very next moment with them." Yogananda left a final truth, and I want you to hold on to it. He taught that family life is sacred, that God, who is love, created us through the love of souls, and that through that love we find our way back to the divine. Your child is not a distraction from your spiritual path. Your child is one of the most powerful spiritual paths you will ever walk. Every act of patience, every moment of presence, every choice to love without condition is quietly transforming you, purifying your heart, teaching your soul the very things it came here to learn. You thought you were only raising a child, but all this time, in ways you never saw, your child has been helping to raise you. So the next time you look at them, in a moment of joy or in a moment of complete exhaustion, remember what you're really looking at. Not just a child who needs you, a teacher who was sent to you, a soul who chose you, and one of the greatest gifts your own awakening will ever receive. If this teaching resonated with you, subscribe and turn on notifications. More of Yogananda's wisdom on the soul, love, and relationships is coming. Share this video with a parent who needs to hear it, someone who loves their child deeply and could see that love in a whole new light. And leave a comment. What has your child taught you that you could never have learned any other way? Naming it is a way of honoring the gift. See you in the next one.